Hello everyone, it's just Daryl, and today I'm going to talk about the Nintendo Direct because I have a lot of things to really say about it, because everyone has. It's kind of controversial, I guess you could say. Before we go on, I'd just like to say I'm very happy about how the last video did. I gained a total of 70 subscribers as of counting, and right now I'm kind of just looking at it, and I'm having a hard time looking away because it's just so cool to see like almost 200 people watch what I'm doing. That's incredible. I hope it keeps up, but if it doesn't, that's fine. I still like talking about random bullshit anyways. If you like more content from me, please be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. Like the video if you'd like, share it with your friends if you want. Now I'm going to actually talk about what you're here for. So, the Direct. I have a lot to say about it, as I've already mentioned. So does everyone else. First, I'm going to start off with the good, because I don't necessarily want to start this off being negative. It's nice to see a portable console that's like as strong as like one of the older Xbox models, or like I guess a PlayStation 4, because that's pretty handy for playing games and all that, especially since Elden Ring's coming to the Switch, which is also really cool. I'm tempted to buy that because that's just, one of my favorite games ever on a console that I could literally go take a shit with. Not to even mention that Silk Song got mentioned, and so did like the next chapters of Deltarune, which I'm really excited for. Even if I haven't beaten Hollow Knight, it does give me incentive to go ahead and do that. It's also nice to see Nintendo get out of like the Neanderthal stage of like online video gaming, because I mean, they have voice chat now, and that's pretty cool. Even if the stream kind of looks like it's going below even 30 frames per second. But I guess some people won't mind, because, it's better than nothing. Even if I think it should be better, because we're way beyond that standard at this point. And also the idea that the microphone can ignore background noises, kind of like Discord's sound suppression, or like noise suppression. That's pretty cool, and it's kind of impressive that they could fit such a thing into like the small Switch. And the webcam is also pretty cool, especially the integration with it in the games. I hope Nintendo is able to get more of their games be able to integrate that, because it could be useful. Like, imagine you're playing competitive Pokemon or like PvP and even Elden Ring, and you destroy them, and you get to watch as their like smile falls as you take them out. That would be really incredible, even if it's a little sadistic on my behalf. One thing I want to touch upon that does involve that is I do want to know if the new Switch is still using the same like code friend system where like you can't look anyone up, you just have to do it through friend code. Because if so, it doesn't really matter if they do have a voice chat, because like it's really hard to add people unless you just have their code. Like you can't go on a game, see somebody and like search them up and try to add them. You have to like ask them for their code. And not all games have that. Like if you play Elden Ring, how are you going to add someone from Elden Ring? They can't just type the code down for you. Now, like, I don't know if that's what they're doing on the new Switch, but I'm just wanting to know if, like, they are adding, like, a search system, or they're, like, overhauling the friend system overall, because there's not really much of a point in having a voice call system if, you can't even make any friends organically on the Switch without having to, like, force the friend code out of them. Like, you're asking, like, Mason from fucking Black Ops 1 for the numbers. What's the friend code? Like, who wants to do that?
No, I want to keep pressing you.
Hey! Who are you people? What do you want from me?
We want the numbers, Mason. That's all we've ever wanted.
And if like some of you don't know what I mean by that, or like don't know why it's inconvenient, just imagine like if you're someone on Steam who has a Switch, or like on any other platform, imagine if like half the friends you have now, imagine if you had to like get a code from them to add them. Do you think you would have been able to add all of them? If not, then you probably get my point then. It's really cool that a lot of the games are going to be able to run like up to 120 FPS, or at the very least 60. Like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom running at that is going to look really nice, and it's going to be much nicer to play. Like I didn't finish Tears of the Kingdom, but I very well might on like a higher frame rate, because it'd be easier to look at. But of course, it being Nintendo, they had to find some kind of way to get some money out of this, even though realistically they should have just given this to us for free. Unfortunately, I don't really have an exact price as to how much they will be going for, but them being priced at all is a little concerning and a little frustrating, considering the price of the console itself. The console is going to be going for like around $450, which is like pricey, but you could probably justify buying it considering it's a Switch, with a lot of games that's coming out on launch and in the future. And you'll get your money's worth out of it for sure after a certain point of time. But I do have one small problem. The price of the games is absolutely like bullshit. They should not be charging $80 for like physical and digital versions in like the US, and even an additional $10 in like places like Japan. We live in a time where like that $80 could be gas and maybe groceries, or like that $80 could go to something that we absolutely need to have, not something we want to have. Like games being at $70 already was really, annoying and maybe a little greedy. But like going up to 80 is insane considering Nintendo was like the last to even try it. Like they didn't even do it, I don't think, on the Switch. Like let me check. So yeah, as far as I could tell, most Nintendo Switch games on like the original console were priced at like at the most $60, but they're jumping all the way to 80. Like they're not even going to the 70. It just feels like a really like jarring turn for them to take, because it seemed like they were standing against that price model, but I guess not. As someone who thinks even like $60 can be greedy sometimes, this like don't buy it. Like if you want the games industry to go in a good direction, do not buy any of the $80 games, please. I am begging you, as someone who is sitting on the room talking at a microphone on a really old version of Sony Vegas, please don't buy this. Because if you do, the other studios aren't gonna think, oh, we should put an extra $10 to $20 of quality into our game. They're gonna think, oh, we're gonna get extra money. Please, they're not gonna take it that way. I promise you, they will misunderstand it. They will not put that extra quality in. They will not put that extra effort in. They won't do it. Like, I want you to think about the games they released on the Switch 1, because, like, let's be honest, that's what they're gonna do again. I want you to tell me if those are worth $80 to you. I want you to tell me if Pokemon Violet, like Scarlet and Violet, I want you to tell me if those were worth $80. Now, like, think about it. They're gonna do that. They're not gonna change the quality of the games, I promise. They're not. The next Pokemon game, especially the Pokemon games, they're gonna be the same quality, but probably for $80. Do you want that? No, you don't. Look at this shit. Do you want to get off your 9 to 5, spend, like, literally hours of money on, like, shit that looks like this, that's $80? Like, hell, I wouldn't pay $60 for this, even though I did. I owned the game. But that was like a different deal altogether. I was hopeful. I wanted this game to be good, but it wasn't, I promise. And you have people like misinterpreting talk against the console like it's people just being ungrateful. But like, I would just like to remind everyone that they haven't even caught up with modern console standards yet. Okay? It's still weaker than the PS5. It is still incapable of like having a 60 frames per second, even 30 on like a video call, like a video sharing thing. We don't know if, they're gonna change the friend adding system, and like the UI looks the same. Like still, the Nintendo eShop, the one on the 3DS, by the way, I forgot to mention that, is the best Nintendo console store ever. Like they have not beat it yet. The new UI looks so generic and soulless. Like it doesn't have any like ambience. There's nothing. You could probably have it in a dark mode if they're nice. I'm not claiming it's AI generated, but I'd have a pretty easy time fucking believing that. Like I've been going on social media and I'm still seeing people who are like just flat out like worshipping the Switch 2. It is cool and it's very impressive that they're able to get a console that size and portable, as strong as like almost the PlayStation 4. But they were bragging about adding a fucking fan to the console. That is like a normal thing. Like they were literally bragging about how like, oh, we added a fan to make it cool. Yeah, I would hope so. It should have just had one on the Switch 1. A lot of the shit on the Switch 2 should have existed on the Switch 1. And not to mention, they don't ever go over Joy-Con drift, so like that could happen again. To me, it just feels like it's too little too late. Like this is just how it should have been with the Switch 1. Like they should have had a fan to keep the fucking thing cool, so it doesn't feel like you're burning yourself every time you pull it out when you're playing it in docked mode. And we probably also should have had a shitty Discord knockoff chat on the Switch 1. Overall, like, I'm excited for it, but I don't think $450 is, like, a reasonable price for it, and I don't think $80 is a good price for the games, because, like, it's just anti-consumer to be upping the price of games even more than the other companies, because like I said earlier, it's going to set a precedent that is not good for like the consumer. Like we already have companies trying to push AI out into everything that we watch and like play, and now we're going to have Nintendo adding on like an extra $10 to all of that. So yeah, I guess we should just, I don't even fucking know, just go buy indie game. I know for damn sure Rockstar Games is smiling as wide as they can, because they're going to be able to sell GTA for $100 and no one's even going to bat an eye. Mind you, there is a chance that GTA 6 might warrant it, because it could be just that big of a game in like scope. Because like Red Dead Redemption 2 probably should have been maybe $70. But like Nintendo games, no, they shouldn't even be close to that. They should be maybe $40 most of the time. Like Mario Kart, maybe $60, but not 80. No. I don't really have much else to say other than there's nothing wrong with buying the Switch 2, but I would be pretty hesitant when it comes to buying the games because it would set a pretty bad precedent if a bunch of people started paying $80 for video games because like no one's going to get the right message from that. And I won't judge you for doing it either because it's ultimately not my business, but it would be pretty great to try and fight back against this because if we can get our games back to at least 70, we can maybe work our way down from there because it's up to us. We're the one who decides at the end of the day, which I say a lot. Like I said that in my last video, like a total of 5 times or something. I don't know. That's just my catchphrase at this point. It's okay to be excited, but it's really smart to be skeptical about it because like I promise I'm not one of those buzzkills who just want to put down anyone who's like even a little excited. Like it's cool. You know, Switch 2 is like a big console. Like the Switch 1 was so popular. It sold out fast, stores were packed. I remember when my brother was trying to get one, he was like trying for ages and it took him like I think months to even get his hands on one. My brother told me to check out the Mario Kart bundle and I did. And it looks like if you get it with that, like with the Switch, like you get the new Mario Kart with it, it's just a $50 added on to the actual Switch price. So if you were to buy it, I would recommend just buying it like that because then you're not paying a full $80 on top of the Switch price. Because like if they sell it as a limited time thing where like, oh, you can get the game for $50 with a Switch, it is likely to get people to just rush and buy it so they don't have to spend that extra money. So I guess it's a smart marketing ploy, but like, again, I still don't like it very much. Like if you're going to buy it at all, I guess buy it like this. Just don't buy it for the 80. Otherwise, they're going to think they can just get away with it and other companies will think they can. I've said that several times already though, so I don't need to beat the shit out of the horse anymore. I don't really have much else to say about the Switch 2. I'm not going to just talk out my ass and try and stretch the video out as long as I can. I'm just going to leave by saying, you know, keep your expectations to a minimum and try and get the best deal out of it that you can. Like, don't let them screw you over. Anyways, everyone here, have a good day. Hope you all like, subscribe, all that. If you can, if you want. It's no big deal to me, even if it would be nice. I hope everyone here has a good day. It was just Daryl.